Northwest of Cape Reinga, about 34 miles or 55 kilometers out into the Pacific, sits a chain of steep islands. They're called the Three Kings, or Namotu Karaka. The biggest one is called Manawatafi. The place is rough. There's bare rock, sharp ridges, wind that never quits. In the 1800s, sailors, they left goats there, and the goats ate nearly every green thing that they could reach. And by the early 1900s, the islands, they were nearly stripped bare. Yet, on a slope of more than 760 feet, 233 meters above the sea, one tree managed to survive. Just one. Its scientific name is Penantia bailiciana. People in New Zealand call it the Kaikomako of the Three Kings. The word comes from Maori. Kai means food. Komako is the name of a bellbird that once fed on its fruit. Related trees had dried twigs that burned hot and fast, perfect for starting cooking fires. And the name remembers that use. In January 1945, a young botanist named Jeff Bayliss, he climbed up Manawatafi to check out what the goats hadn't destroyed. And what he found was a mature female Kaikomako, all by itself. No seedlings, no other adults, no male tree in sight, just one survivor. Bayliss cut a branch off and carried it back, and that small act kept the tree from being lost forever. Scientists rooted cuttings from it, and for decades, every Kaikomako alive, there was a copy of that one. All female, no wild male has ever been found. That made the species extremely fragile. No males meant no natural seed, and no seed meant no real way forward. And because every clone was nearly identical, one good disease could have wiped them all out in one shot. Yet still, people worked at it. And by the 1980s, nearly 200 young trees had been grown in New Zealand gardens. Today, there are several hundred more, with some planted overseas as a safeguard. In the 1980s and 1990s, researchers used careful hormone treatments and hand pollination. They managed to coax a few cultivated Kaikomako trees into making viable seed. And that gave the species a bit of genetic variety beyond simple clones. It wasn't much, but it meant that the line could carry on. The original tree, it's still there, high up on its ledge, a Manawatafi, bent by the sea wind. And it's likely more than a century old. And nearly 80 years after Bayliss cut that first branch, it remains rooted in the same slope right where he found it. Species die out when nobody steps in. This one didn't, because one man saw it, stopped, cut a single branch, and that branch was enough to save the rarest tree on earth. These are Interesting Things with JC.